Now today is the second day of the African Energy Week. Yesterday, Sasol and ArcelorMittal South Africa partnered to develop carbon capture and green hydrogen technologies. Today, the focus is how stakeholders can create one message to deal with the energy crisis and ensure investor confidence. Yorm Abledu, the Senior Associate Centurion Law Group, is there, and she joins us now live just to give us more of what she thought of day one so far. Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Abledu, here on ENCA. Firstly, I know that you're from Ghana, and I don't know if you've experienced what we experienced. You arrived in South Africa when we are going through stage 4 and 3 load shedding. It's one of our worst nightmares. And I don't know if you've experienced blackouts yet while you've been here, but just give me a picture of how it's like in Ghana. Is South Africa the only, one of the only countries that are going through this?
No, actually, in Ghana we had a few problems some years ago, but then I think now it's resolved. So no load shedding in Ghana at the moment.
All right. So how did you actually get it sorted then? Maybe you can give our minister and some of the South African stakeholders there some advice.
Okay, so for Ghana there was an energy sector reform program that the government renegotiated all its agreements with the IPPs, that's the independent power purchasers in Ghana. And then there was a bit of restructuring in the power sector, and I think that helped.
So how many people right now in Ghana do have access to electricity?
I don't have the data for Ghana, but I know for Africa it's unacceptable that in this modern age, 600 million people in Africa have no access to electricity. And then 900 million have no access to clean cooking fuel.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. I mean, 600 million people in this continent with no electricity. And yesterday we were listening to our Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, speaking there at the event. And he was basically saying that as Africans, we should not allow ourselves to still be seen in this day and age as a province with small dreams. I don't know what you thought of his speech yesterday. He was also saying that we take too much advice from the international world and try to be more like them instead of saving ourselves. What did you think?
Honestly, I think that we should look at this problem from the human rights perspective, and that electric energy is an essential service to facilitate the enforcement of most human rights. If you have no power or electricity in the health centers, people are going to lose their lives, and then who do we have to blame for that?
Exactly. And coal, the fact that we're being told as the African continent to move away from coal, for instance, do you agree? Our government doesn't seem to 100% agree to letting go of coal completely. What do you think?
I think Africa can transition slowly, and then at our own pace. Whenever we're ready, we would move into cleaner energy.
So you say in Ghana one of your solutions was IPPs, and we've just signed a few, we've brought a few on board so far. Eskom, I think, signing about 9 of them, 5 2 weeks ago and 4 last week. But what do you think about nuclear? This has been a topic for a while. Does Ghana use nuclear and IPPs or renewables?
No, we don't use nuclear. We don't have nuclear energy in our energy mix. So no, we don't.
But what do you think of
for the IPPs is electricity?
Yeah. What do you think of nuclear being brought into the African continent? Do you think that might be a solution that could help us? I mean, 600 million people is a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we need to we have to diversify our energy mix, our renewable energy system, and we must rely on hydropower, biomass, and then solar. I think there are other options we can rely on as well.
What have you been thinking about the event so far? Do you think as the continent we will be able to lure investors to help us?
Yes, I agree. I think we can, and we can help ourselves as well.
How? How do we help ourselves?
I believe for the Africa Energy Week, we had so many high-level conversations, and then there's so many solutions, and there's so many things we resolved to do. And as Africans, we don't always have to wait for the West to help us. We can actually help ourselves in the situation.
Absolutely. I think I agree with you. And obviously, this is something that our Minister of Energy here, Gweda Mantashe, would agree to. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Hopefully, the IPPs that we've signed on board will also be able to help us to become like Ghana soon and see an end to load shedding. Let's leave it there for now.